Some people don't enter your thoughts loudly. They don't announce themselves. They don't knock. They simply appear, again and again, quietly. And before you realize it, they've taken a permanent space in your mind. If someone keeps appearing in your thoughts without effort, without intention, without a clear reason, understand this first. This is not random, and it's not meaningless. Before you listen further, pause for a moment. Take a slow breath. Let your mind settle. What you are about to hear is not fantasy, not coincidence, and not something to ignore. It's a truth about human psychology that many people experience, but very few truly understand. Sometimes it starts gently. A random thought, a memory, a name passing through your mind. You don't think much of it at first, but then it happens again and again, in the morning, at night, in quiet moments, in busy moments, while working, while resting. That person keeps returning to your thoughts, even when you are not trying to think about them. And that's when confusion begins. You may ask yourself, why this person? Why now? Why so often? The mind doesn't fixate without reason. Psychology tells us that repeated thoughts are signals. They are messages from deeper emotional layers that are trying to surface. When someone keeps appearing in your mind, it means a connection has already formed. Not always a visible one, not always a spoken one, but a real one. Often, this connection begins before logic gets involved. The heart feels first. The mind follows later. You may not remember the exact moment it started, but one day you realize that this person has become part of your inner world. Their presence feels familiar, even if your relationship with them isn't close. Their absence feels noticeable, even if they were never fully present in your life. This is where many people misunderstand what's happening. They think it's obsession, or loneliness, or imagination. But psychology sees it differently. When a person repeatedly enters your mind, it's usually because something unresolved exists between you. Unspoken emotions, unfinished conversations, mutual awareness, or emotional energy that was exchanged quietly. Human minds are deeply responsive to emotional impressions. When someone makes you feel understood, seen, calm, or emotionally stirred, your mind stores that feeling. And later, when your mind looks for comfort, meaning, or emotional clarity, it brings that person back into focus. This doesn't require daily communication. It doesn't require physical closeness. Sometimes the strongest mental connections form in silence. A look that lasted a second, a conversation that ended too soon, a bond that never had the chance to fully express itself. These are the connections that return the most. And here's something important. When someone keeps appearing in your mind, it doesn't mean you are alone in feeling it. Psychology shows that emotional focus often works both ways. When thoughts are emotionally charged, they tend to create subtle awareness on the other side too. Not in a dramatic way, not always consciously, but gently. You may notice small signs. They suddenly message you after a long silence. You think about them, and somehow they appear. You feel an urge to check on them, and later find out they were thinking of you too. These moments aren't proof of destiny, but they are indicators of emotional synchronization. The mind picks up patterns before the heart understands them, and the heart reacts before words are spoken. Another reason someone keeps appearing in your thoughts is because your mind senses emotional safety with them. Even if you don't fully understand why, your system recognizes something familiar, something calm, something grounding. Your thoughts return there because it feels stable, even in uncertainty. This is especially common during times of emotional transition, when you're growing, when you're healing, when something in your life is changing. The mind searches for emotional anchors, and the person who appears repeatedly often represents stability, understanding, or a version of yourself that feels more aligned. Sometimes, that person reflects who you are becoming, or who you were before life hardened you, or you feel you could be if things felt simpler. The mind doesn't just bring people back randomly. It brings back symbols. And sometimes, a person becomes a symbol of comfort, connection, or emotional truth. You might notice that your thoughts about them are not always dramatic. Sometimes they are soft, calm, quiet, almost peaceful. That's a key sign. Loud emotions fade. Quiet ones stay. When a person keeps appearing gently in your mind, it's often because the connection is rooted in emotional depth, not surface attraction. There is also the element of unexpressed emotion. Psychology explains that what we don't express verbally often returns mentally. If there are words you never said, feelings you never clarified, or moments that ended without closure, the mind revisits them. Not to punish you, but to process them. Your mind wants resolution, understanding, balance. And until that emotional loop is completed, the person connected to it will continue to appear. But here's where many people make a mistake. They try to force meaning. They rush to label the connection. They act impulsively. They assume the thoughts mean immediate action is required. That often disrupts the natural process. Not every recurring thought demands movement. Some demand awareness. Some ask for patience. Some simply want you to understand what you're feeling without judgment. When someone keeps appearing in your mind, it's often an invitation to look inward, to ask yourself honest questions. What do I feel when I think of them? Calm or anxiety? Warmth or tension? Peace or confusion? Your answers reveal more than the thoughts themselves. If the feeling is calm, the connection is usually healthy, even if undefined. If it's anxious or heavy, it may be highlighting something unresolved within you that needs care, not necessarily contact. Another important truth is this. Emotional connections don't always mean romantic destiny. Sometimes they exist to teach, to mirror, to help you grow emotionally, to show you parts of yourself you hadn't noticed. Not every person who enters your mind is meant to stay in your life forever, but every one of them enters for a reason. Psychology also points out that repetition strengthens emotional memory. The more you think about someone, the stronger the emotional pathway becomes. That's why it's important to understand the quality of your thoughts. Are they rooted in gratitude, longing, curiosity, fear of loss? Awareness changes the experience. And yet, even with all this understanding, one thing remains true. If someone keeps appearing in your mind again and again, it's not random. It means something meaningful is being processed, either between you and them, or within you because of them. The mind does not invest energy without purpose. Your attention is valuable. Where it goes repeatedly, something important is forming or unfolding. If this person appears during moments of silence, it often means they occupy a peaceful emotional space in you. If they appear during stress, they may represent comfort or escape. If they appear when you're growing, they may be connected to your evolution. There's no need to rush to conclusions. No need to force outcomes. Understanding comes with patience. Awareness comes with stillness. And clarity comes when you allow emotions to exist without pressure. Sometimes the strongest connections are the ones that grow quietly, without labels, without announcements, without urgency, just awareness. If someone keeps appearing in your mind, listen, not to the noise, but to the feeling beneath it, because that's where the real message is. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this video. I want you to know that taking time to understand your thoughts and emotions is a powerful form of self-respect. Most people ignore their inner signals. You didn't, and that matters. This space is created for people who think deeply, feel deeply, and want to grow emotionally and mentally. Every video here is meant to help you understand yourself better, not to rush you, but to guide you gently. If this message resonated with you, stay connected. There is more clarity ahead, more understanding, more growth. Your journey matters. Your awareness matters. And the fact that you're here means you're already moving forward. Never stop listening to yourself. Never stop learning about your mind. And I'll see you in the next video with something new, something meaningful, and something that helps you see life with a little more clarity.